Whether you're a small big organisation or a big organisation, you're out on those streets helping a young person and their family. I bow my hat to you and I thank you.
Welcome to Talking Shop, the Communities Inc. podcast. Episode 7. What does it take to do youth work?
Hi, Ben. Welcome to our podcast. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about yourself?
Thank you very much. My name's Ben Rosser. I'm the founder of the Python Club. I was born on the 1st of January in London. I was the first baby to be born at Chase Farm Hospital in Middlesex. So I was in the papers, which was interesting, as a newborn baby. I was born into a single mother. She raised me till I was 12 in Tooting. We lived in a block of flats. It was interesting at times. My mum was training as being a social worker. My life changed a little bit when I was 12, 13. We went to Zimbabwe for a holiday. My mum met my stepdad, who was living in Zimbabwe after exiling from South Africa due to apartheid era. It was at that point they all came back and got married in the UK, and we returned to his home country of South Africa after Nelson Mandela was released from prison. It was a very interesting time, a white mum, a black dad. And it was really interesting, especially obviously living in one of the most racist countries in the world. So it was tough. It built character, and I took a lot of lessons from that. Watching my family, how they dealt with a lot of issues, and their love prevailed. At the age of 18, I returned to the UK after spending obviously 6-7 years in South Africa, which I did enjoy, but taught me some tough lessons. Also made me understand how lucky and fortunate I was living in the UK and the opportunities I had down here compared to the poverty that was in South Africa. I've come back at age, like I say, 18. Tried to make it as a professional footballer. Unfortunately, didn't just make it. I was good enough, but sometimes you need a bit of luck. And that's what I always tell the young people now, make sure you got a plan B. And my plan B was being a police officer. As much as I had issues with the police and my family had issues with the police, I wanted to make a difference, and I felt that yes, we hear about institutional racism within the police service and maybe in the community and society, and I just felt the best way of doing things is being in a job to try and change it. So I enjoyed my time in the police force. It was, for the first 5 years, very proactive, exactly what I wanted to do. However, in 2007, there were some big cuts across London, especially in the banking world, which caused a massive collapse in our community, and everyone was affected. The police force overnight went from being proactive to reactive, with the number of officers halved and the areas that you had to cover doubled. Alongside community centres closing down and local resources, in especially inner city areas, being closed down due to the cuts that happened in 2007. It disillusioned me. I didn't know really what I wanted to do because I didn't want to just keep coming on duty and arresting people. That's not why I joined the job. So after 10 years of a very secure job, a job that I did enjoy, a job that I did see issues of racism in the minority of cases with the minority of officers, I left the police force after 10 years and set up the Python Club, where we are today. National award-winning organisation that is working across 9 areas of the city and the county, helping young people and their families. We focus on personal and social development. We do it through sport and mentoring and social action. We work with some great partners like Communities Inc. to offer some great training opportunities and workshops to empower our staff and young people. But we understand that we're in a social crisis as well, where people are struggling with the cost of living. They're hurting, suffering with depression, isolation, anxiety, and other things combined. So we've got a challenge to face within our community, and we're up for that challenge. We appreciate the support that we get.
Yeah, wow, that's some history. There's quite a lot of experience there that I would imagine has informed a lot of what you do now today. So just tell us a little bit more about the Python Club. You know, what sorts of activities does it do? What does it offer to people?
The Python Club does different activities. We do sports activities with school education programs. We get people into work. When it comes to employment pathways, we mentor young people. We do community outreach. We have a Secret Garden initiative that combats isolation, especially after COVID, where people have kind of kept to themselves. We just respond to what the community needs. We're proactive, and that's what I need to be. We hopefully will attend to issues before they happen. And if they've just happened, we try and get on to dealing with it as quickly as possible. Really grateful to people like Communities Inc. for the great training they delivered to us. I'm not just saying that because we're in a podcast with them today. They have been fantastic. Michael and the team have always helped the Python Club, and long may that continue. We're based across different areas of Nottingham. Obviously, the inner city areas are our main focus. I won't go through all the areas, but inner city areas is where we kind of help and focus. Today, for example, with NET Trams, doing some outreach work around Bulwell in the town centre, engaging young people and their families into positive programmes that we run. Obviously, we're having issues of antisocial behaviour across Nottingham, but also across the country, really, with young people being disillusioned and struggling to find where they need to go. And the Python Club are there to support them and help them. The trauma that they might have faced, the mistakes they might have made, we say to them, listen, we'll give you another chance. Believe in us. Get involved in the Python family, because we're not a club, we're a family. Show respect to manners and hard work, and we'll back you up half the way. We'll be there with you. And that's the journey that we're on.
That's brilliant. So, I mean, obviously a lot of the young people that you work with face multiple challenges. How do they find you? How do they reach you and get to know about what you do and what you offer? The
Python Club do the normal social media kind of platforms. We work across schools as well, so we get the word out there. I think the main thing how they find us is we find them. We do the community outreach, we hit the streets, we go to the areas that they are in, the gangs that they're in, the dark alleys that they're down, because some of these young people that you mentioned won't necessarily find us, we've got to find them. And that's one of our big USPs, our selling point, something that we're unique and we're really proud of, that our team are hard working, and they will go along the trams, they'll go into the Santans, the Meadows, the Basefords, the Bulwells, the Radfords, the Meadows, the Top Valleys, Clifton. We will find the young people and we will like to bring them into the programs that we do. We're relentless, we're passionate, we're determined, we don't give up, we're the real deal. When I say we're going to back you up, we're going to back you up. That's why we sometimes lose personal relationships, because it's not 9 to 5, we're 24/7. If we say we're going to be there for a young person, they're not going to ring up 3 o'clock in the afternoon, they're going to ring at 9 o'clock at night or 10 o'clock at night, and you've got to be answering the phone, or then don't say you're going to be there for them, because then that's not just being straight, and that's how you lose their trust. You've got one chance with these young people, they've been let down more than they would like to say, so you've got one opportunity to show them that you're not going to let them down, and you will turn your cheek if they want to give you a slap metaphorically, or show you disrespect, because we understand that they've been hurt, they've been trauma, there's trauma involved in this, and we understand that, and that's why we're good mentors, that's why we've lived that life, we understand where they're coming from. So that's the unique things about us. We find them and we don't give up.
And I suppose that speaks to your proactive ethos, in terms of you're not waiting for something to happen, you're trying to get there before something. I mean, these young people are already, as you say, experiencing different traumas, different sort of prejudices and discriminations and barriers, but trying to catch people before they fall too much through the net. So, I mean, you're working with young people that are facing a whole range of sort of multiple problems. What sorts of things do you think make the biggest difference for young people? I mean, you talked about being available out of hours. I've worked for organisations before that provide services to people that are vulnerable, but they shut the door and the phone goes off at 5 o'clock. And as you say, people in crisis, people in trauma, that doesn't just happen between 9 to 5. And you don't have to go that far to actually build some of that confidence and trust, do you?
No, you don't. And like you said, that's the key thing, communication and trust. For me, even when I was a police officer, I didn't necessarily know the law. I might have known a few offences, to be fair, but I didn't really know the law. I knew how to communicate with somebody. I knew how to come to a scenario, a scene, and be able to de-escalate it by communication. Being able to speak to the black man, the white man, the Asian, the Chinese, whatever. I was able to adapt my communication style to de-escalate the situation. And that's a key thing with policing and a key thing when it comes to community and life. But then you've got to have something to offer as well. You've got to have an offering. If you are trying to say to a young person who's dealing drugs and this, that and the other, listen, come to the Python Club, get in our ways, well, you better have a source of income for them, because they're used to making money. It's as simple as that. Some people don't understand that. They think, education, back into school, into college. Well, no, these young people, unfortunately, haven't had that experience, even had any kind of direction to do that kind of work. They're in a business of making money. And cut long story short, the Python Club try and provide them work experience opportunities, try and build their confidence and understand that there can be much more than just this. And in fact, using your accounting skills and your street awareness, if you put that into a different kind of legal route, you'll be making money. And it's just a bit of patience and time and belief in that. So it's communication and trust that we feel is really important when it comes to a young person.
Yeah, and it's creating a pathway for them, isn't it, where they've got a more, optimistic future, where they can, have aspirations that can be sort of, they can see them turning into practice. So, if there's organisations out there listening that work with young people that maybe face multiple challenges, what advice would you give them? What would you say to them?
I would say, firstly, well done. Respect to you. Yeah, in these hard times where organisations, because of funding or whatever reason, they close down, or motivation, they close down. I say, big respect to you. Keep fighting the good fight. We believe in you. I believe in you. Who am I? Yeah, I'm just an organisation as well. I'll back you up. You can back me up. We're a family. I'm bigger or better than you. Yeah, we're exactly the same, to be fair. Whether you're a small big organisation or a big organisation, you're out on those streets helping a young person and their family. I bow my hat to you and I thank you. Let's work together. Keep doing what you do. Keep believing in yourself, because we need our community to stand together and help our young people and their families to get out of the mess that they're in. And we all need support. What I say to people, and especially young people, I say, don't think for 1 second, it's Ben Rosser here coming to support you. No, we're supporting each other right now. I want a young person to feel that it's not a drama victim case, like a hospital case. He needs support. We need to throw support at him. No, we support each other, because I've got issues of mental health. I've gone through my old trials and tribulations. I have bad days. So we help each other. So you help me, I help you. And that's it goes to all organisations doing good work as well.
Yeah. So just on that then, Ben, what is it that you get out of doing the work that you do?
Satisfaction that we're saving lives. You're not going to be rich. We always knew the path that we're going down with community is not going to be a financially rewarding one. But what is rewarding? How you know that you save lives, makes your heart feel better, your soul feel better. A few poignant people have said to me how the Python Club have saved someone's life, and then sometimes you won't even know it if you saved a life. That's touching and deep. And for me, there's not many people or organisations can say that they're in the business of saving lives, stopping young people going down the wrong path, young people that have made mistakes, got involved in crime, misbehaviour, trouble, but yet we're here to back them up and support them. There's not many organisations that can do that. There's lots of people that want to just, not let's say persecute these individuals, but not wanting to help, let's say that. So what I get out of the rewarding, get out of seeing how people that have made mistakes, thought they're not good enough, thought they couldn't achieve something, and now are leading the way, and they're role models for themselves and their family.
And I was just going to say, the people that you work with, I guess some of them will be motivated to want to help others. Having received the support and help from you, having seen the difference it makes to them, that they might make that something that they want to do. That's
definitely something that we hope to see. Obviously, it rubs off on other people, and we just say, look, you can do things, you can achieve great things. So you keep doing you, and if you can help others and bring people along the journey as well, do it. You're a leader. I've said to a few people, listen, you're a leader. You're a role model. Which way are you going to take them? Are you going to take them down the good path, or are you going to take them down the bad path? Because whichever path you take them down, they will follow you. I want you to take them down the good path. I want you to be a leader of men, and I want you to do that. And if they do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't.
Yeah, on our training, we talk about, the bystander intervention training, that the reason that we focus on bystanders is that peer intervention makes a difference. Our people around us, whether it's our family, our friends, people in our social circle or work environments, what they do and say influences us. And it can influence us for the worse, but it can also influence us for the better. Yeah. And I guess you see both sides of that, don't you? You see people coming to you that have maybe been influenced in a way that's been damaging or harmful to them. And what you're trying to do is actually influence them in a way where it can improve the quality of their life, improve their health.
Yeah, that's what we try and do. And that's what we try and do. We try and push that momentum and encourage people to, like you said, help others, be a leader. Especially, like I say, I'm slightly older now. I know I don't look it. I'm joking. But I know the value of young people from those areas being those role models others look up to, because they can then say to themselves, these young people especially, oh, if he can do it, I can do it. He's living in the same situation I am. He's dealing with the same issues I am. He looks the same as me as well. Well, I can do that. Why can't I do that? Well, actually, I will do that. And that's what we want. That's what we've seen a lot of. That's why we're very much about young people's voices, young ambassadors, young leaders, and supporting them as much as we can.
Yeah, and I guess in terms of being a role model, somebody that can change or that can be influenced, what you mentioned right at the beginning, you seem to have been through quite a lot. You've probably seen it, done it, been there. There's probably not a lot that, young people come to you with that you maybe haven't even had personal experience
of. I always say I've heard it twice. Not even heard it once. I've been around the block twice, lived in all different places, all different countries, heard all different things, especially being a police officer, I've heard everything. So no, there's nothing I could see, generally speaking, there's nothing I would hear that would surprise me or concern me. There's always a solution. If you're in a hole, we get out of it. The first thing is understand where you are, and if you're sorry and you want to do something about it, then I'm backing you up.
Yeah, and that's really important, isn't it? That young people see somebody that they can relate to, somebody that understands, where they're coming from, what they're experiencing, what they're going through, and that's, I guess, part of what sort of builds that trust and confidence.
Yeah, it does. People may have thought as an ex-police officer, you're not going to get that respect and stuff like that. No, it's the opposite. How I treated people when I had the badge, when I had the power. People don't forget. I didn't abuse people. I didn't disrespect them. When I had the power of a uniform and handcuffs, I made sure I treated people with respect. I made sure they understood their rights. And I was tough and firm and fair. There's a game out there. You want to commit crime, there's a situation that you're gonna have to deal with. If you can't deal with that, don't play the game. And the big boys know that. The little ones are whining like babies and say, "Oh no, you persecuted me or targeted me, this, that, and the other." You don't play the game then, because that's the game. But it's when I catch you, it's how I treat you with respect, and that's the key thing. I will treat you with respect and make sure you get a solicitor and get the right support that you need. And people don't forget that when I'm not in my uniform, people remember how I treated them when I had the power. Because when I'm walking my kids, no longer a police officer, in the middle of a town where they may have the power, they remember how I treated them when I had the power. So, cut a long story short, we help each other. People see what I'm about. If you don't, obviously, I'm not everyone's cup of tea. People are not going to like me. Simple as that. Because of a police officer, or because what we do in the community. But to be honest, those kind of people might bother me, and I just keep moving forward.
Yeah. Earlier on in the conversation, you said about other people that work with young people, that you take your hat off to them and you thank them for, their dedication and their commitment. I'd just like to finish off by saying, thank you and the Pythian Club for the work that you do and the difference that you make. And as you say, Communities Inc., we're behind you. You've got other people behind you. We sort of look forward to catching up with you again in the future and talking more about the work that you've been doing. So thank you very much, Ben.
Generally speaking, I'm actually honoured to be here. Like I say, I don't use that lightly. I've seen how well you guys have helped from day one, really, from last 5 years, definitely for Pythian Club. Anyway, real, honest, reliable, genuine people, and I'm more than happy to come down and do this podcast with yourselves and continue working, moving forward with you guys. So thank you very much to both of you.
Right, thank you.